Words sent a chill down his spine, colder than the night air. He felt suddenly exposed, as if the book could see into his mind. Was it a dare, a warning, or something much more dangerous? Ravi's mind raced with questions he couldn't answer. The storm outside seemed to pause, waiting for his next move, as if the world itself was holding its breath along with him. Ravi stared at the book, heart pounding, his imagination running wild with possibilities and dread. What would happen if he did what it asked? What if writing his fear made it real? Write your fear. The words seemed simple, but they carried a weight that pressed down on Ravi's chest. He sat alone in his room, the only light a flickering candle casting long, trembling shadows on the walls. The words echoed in Ravi's mind, growing louder with every heartbeat, as if daring him to reveal his deepest secret. He pulled out a pen, hesitating over the first blank page. The silence in the room was thick, broken only by the distant rumble of thunder outside. His biggest fear was the storm, the wind, the thunder, the noises. Every stormy night brought memories of childhood terror, of hiding under blankets, wishing the world would quiet down. He wrote, "The wind howls like a wolf." The words trembled on the page as if the fear itself seeped into the ink. Instantly the wind outside rose, howling exactly like a wolf. The sound was so real, so close, it made Ravi's skin crawl. Ravi dropped the pen, startled. Was it just coincidence, or had he somehow summoned the storm with his words? He picked up the pen again, testing the book's power. His hands shook, but curiosity was stronger than fear. He wrote, "Something is tapping on my window." The words felt heavy, as if they might leap off the page at any moment. For a moment, only rain. The steady patter on the glass was almost comforting, a reminder of normalcy. Then tap, tap, tap from his bedroom window. Each tap was deliberate, as if someone or something was answering his words. Not a branch, but a slow, deliberate tapping. Ravi's heart raced, his breath quickening as he stared at the window, afraid to look but unable to turn away. The book was making his fears real. Each sentence he wrote seemed to come alive, blurring the line between imagination and reality. He stared at the sentences, ink dark on the old paper. The words seemed to pulse, as if the book itself was breathing. The tapping grew louder, more insistent. Shadows danced across the walls, and the air felt charged with something unnatural. Ravi realized he wasn't imagining things. The book was dangerous. It was a doorway to his nightmares. He needed to stop, but the fear was already loose. The room felt colder, the shadows deeper, as if something had crossed over. Something was knocking, 2 stories up, and Ravi knew with a chill running down his spine that the book was only just beginning to reveal its true power. Ravi slammed the book shut, panic rising. The tapping continued upstairs, relentless. He shoved the book under the sofa cushion, desperate to make it stop. Gripping his flashlight, he bolted up the stairs. The house felt alive, watching him. At the top, the tapping stopped. Silence fell. He shined his light down the hallway and saw a shadow by his bedroom door. It wasn't his. It was tall, thin, with arms stretching to the ceiling. The shadow swayed, detached from the wall, impossibly dark. Ravi froze, unable to scream or move. The shadow grew, twisting into a monstrous shape. It glided down the hallway, silent and menacing. Ravi stumbled backward, legs weak with terror. The shadow closed in, a living piece of the night. He turned to flee, heart pounding. The darkness seemed to follow, swallowing the light. Ravi ran, chased by the nightmare he'd written. Ravi didn't look back. He raced downstairs, the shadow's presence cold behind him. He dove behind the armchair, curling into a ball. The storm raged, but inside all was silent. Was it gone? Was it real? He had to know. Slowly he peeked out. The living room was empty. Relief washed over him until he saw the sofa. The cushion where he'd hidden the book was askew. He crept over, hands shaking, and lifted the cushion. The book was gone. In its place, a single folded piece of yellowed paper. Ravi unfolded it, dread rising. A new message, scrawled in dark ink. "You can't hide from me." The words chilled him to the bone. The house felt smaller, the shadows deeper. Ravi realized the nightmare wasn't over. The book, and whatever it unleashed, was still here. "You can't hide from me." The words echoed in Ravi's mind. Fear turned to desperation. He had to get out, now. He dashed to the front door, not caring about the raging storm. Fumbling with the lock, he imagined the shadow reaching for him. The lock clicked. He pulled the door open, ready to run. Rain poured down, darkness pressing in. He stepped forward, almost free. Suddenly, a loud knock thundered from the other side. Knock, knock, knock. Not the wind, not a branch. Someone or something was there. Ravi froze, caught between the haunted house and the unknown outside. The knocking grew louder, more insistent. Then a low, scraping voice whispered through the door. "Let me in, Ravi." The storm howled, the shadows waited. Ravi stood trembling. The nightmare was far from over.